Today is January 21st, 2022. This is episode 179 of Maelstrom Radio. Maelstrom Radio. With your hosts, Walisaie and Shitter. And welcome everybody to Maelstrom Radio. My name is Peter. With me, as always, is my good friend and co-host Quinton. It's Friday, friend.
It is at TGIF. I am very glad that it is Friday.
Also, with us, friend of the show, back again, but no beach chills this time, Kamijace of the Weekly Cooldown. Jace, hey, welcome back to the show.
Hello.
Welcome. And face reveal.
Yeah, it's
Was I not on the camera last time?
I don't remember.
I can't remember either.
Possibly.
Okay. You're not usually on camera on your show, so.
Yeah, that is true. It's all audio over here on this side of the world.
The world doesn't get to experience your lovely 90s backdrop. It's beautiful. We were talking about it before the show.
90s.
Passed on that is the 90s.
Pastel 90s.
That and the big baggy jeans, but anyway.
Every time I look at Twitter, somebody's like, Jinkos are back. I'm like, they've been saying that for the last 8 years.
They've been back for ever.
And
they're not back, and they'll never be back.
But I go out in public and I'm like, I've never seen any. Well, they're back in somebody's house.
Yeah, they're back in someone's style. Someone found them. They're like, oh, these are cool. I should wear them. And now they declare that they're back.
Comfortable? Yeah. Hell yes. They were so comfortable. They were super comfy. Are they useful in any sort of going out situation? No, they're not. You were making a statement about society and stuff like that, but you were super comfy. Oh, that sucked.
You stepped on the backs of them,
and it's not only it got wet in the rain. Yeah, you blow out the back, and all of a sudden it's shredded, confetti legs. And then
I was never had any. They came into style after I before I was too young at that point, and I never experienced them. I saw them. I'm familiar with them, but
I always got the modest Jinko, baggy enough to be comfortable, but not crazy, not the 76-inch ones some of my friends had. I'm like, why? Why would you you don't need that.
Susan wants to know if skids are still a thing.
Skids are, I mean, technically, the brand still exists.
You mean scary kids with a Z?
Yes, skids.
Yeah, skids. That's what I call the youth on Twitch.
I don't think you're gonna see.
Have you seen TikTok
with skids?
Also, any of the tweens on
TikTok, yes.
I'm sorry, but we have different. I say we have different TikToks then, because I don't generally get tweens on my TikTok.
I don't get tweens.
Most
either.
of them are 20s, 30s, 40s people.
I get a lot of sad people and people trying to teach me how to make passive income.
I get a lot of sad people, yeah.
So I get depression and passive income.
Yeah.
I don't get tweens. I get 20-year-olds who look like tweenies. Does that make sense?
That's yeah. There's specific.
Oh, I accidentally yanked my cord out.
I mean, Susan, you're welcome. Go scroll through my TikTok.
Yeah, go scrolling through TikTok. That's what they want.
I have had to put in time blocks on my phone for TikTok and Twitter because I found myself scrolling too much through them, and now I limit myself.
You're 40 hours later.
It's healthy.
I don't actually do TikTok. I get one notification every now and then, just now even, and
it knows.
I'm I don't want to watch this video. The headline is always something really scary, hey, look, racism. I'm no, I don't want to see whatever you're talking about.
See, mine's nice because it's a bunch of ace creators and older lesbians that are being wholesome and like gaming stuff.
I don't know how to curate TikTok, I guess.
Neither do I. Mine just ended up that way.
It's
It knows me.
I started following people that are doing like really smart and like fun things with TikTok. Like, oh, I'm the like a guy that's filming himself as if he's the only person in the world. And I don't know how he's doing. I don't know how he's doing it. That's the thing. Like, it is freaking me out because it's like, I know it's fake. Like my brain's smart enough to know it's fake. I just don't know how he's getting away with some of the things he's doing because they're like, people ask him, yeah, people are like, hey, go to like this, because it's in Spain. They're like, hey, go to this, and like it's Madrid, so it's the like 2-3 million people city, like it's a massive city, and like you would think there are people everywhere at some point, right? Even during a pandemic, there has to be somebody. And he's like, oh yeah, I'll go to the town square at like 5 p.m. and like walks around dead empty. Can't figure it. There's no birds anywhere. Like everybody's like, how the hell is he doing this? Like even video editors, I'm like, that's hard to do. Like that's really hard to do.
I will say that there is some kind of magic to TikTokers being able to edit the videos with just their phone that I would love to tap into, because if I had that skill, I'd be all over it, but I don't. And
So-
I'm not going to learn. So
I know a little
Just
bit of
give
the
it to me.
secret.
Okay.
They don't.
They
A lot
upload.
of the like bigger TikTokers actually will record the video, put it to another video editing software, edit it, put it back into TikTok, and upload that.
Oh, but that's a lot more work for
It is.
some guy to look at it and comment to slur. No, thank you.
I mean, for like the bigger TikTokers, like the ones that are smaller that are just doing it because they grab their phone, they record themselves in the mirror and go for it. Those ones don't necessarily do it. But the ones that are doing like big skits or have like millions of people following, they tend to put a lot more effort into it. But I guess it's part of their income. So
No,
I mean,
I
I-
just talked into a microphone.
I don't. There's some people that are pretty big, ain't doing a whole lot of effort. They're doing a lot of other things, but not a lot of effort.
Susan just put it. We can get slurs for no effort on Facebook.
That's true.
Don't even have to post.
Yeah, just say something about like, you know, the government
LOL
to your
life.
yeah, to say something about the government and have your family follow you. I'm sure you'll get plenty of slurs.
I went to the store today, slur.
So, yeah. Democrats.
Slur.
Slur. Say you're vaccinated. No. Say the word mask. Just mention the movie The Mask and something.
Yeah, yeah. Just post a picture of it. Jim Carrey.
Liberal.
Oh.
Dirty liberal.
So angry.
The government.
On a completely
Joe
unrelated
Biden.
note, I was talking to one of my coworkers today, and out of context, all he did was mention at one point, he's like, because we were talking about things, I'm like, I'm one of the people, like, I have a visa, like, I'm immigrating here, and he just mentioned, you look like you're from the U.S. Like, oh,
What?
'Cause, like,
what does that mean?
yeah, exactly. Like
I would have.
but it was funny. It was like, he wouldn't have picked me as someone who's immigrating here because I look like I'm from the U.S. And all I was thinking was like, really,
Tell me more how you're.
That hurts.
Tell me more how you're ignorant.
Yeah, show your work, please.
oh.
What is the equation for someone to look like they're from the U.S.? Actually, I think what you have to ask them is like,
Caucasian.
oh, really? Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. What is your opinion about Americans? And then like see what they're trying to get at.
Yeah.
Because
I mean, if you ask your opinion of Americans, anyone that says anything positive, you could probably guarantee they're from the U.S. Anyone who says anything else, you kind of have a 50-50 chance.
yeah, right.
Chili in chat says, I mean, when I was in Vegas, someone came up to me and said I looked like I lived in the US. It was the first year I was visiting. Then I said a word and they knew that they were wrong. But Chili,
Yeah.
Caucasian. As see,
Kinda,
Jason and I have the Hispanic.
if you just do this, walk around Vegas like this. Oh,
Yeah.
you're from the United States. Boo.
Wait, wasn't this like a Silent Hill monster?
No,
Oh,
that was from Guillermo del Toro's
yeah.
Pan's Labyrinth.
Also not American, but hey.
Yeah, you're right. Love his movies though.
Well,
Don't we all?
I haven't seen Pan's Labyrinth yet. It's been on my Netflix queue for like
it's
8 years.
such a good movie. Such a
I
good
know.
movie.
One of those movies you definitely.
It's
should
coming up,
watch.
I think, on its 11th anniversary or something like that. It's pretty. It's getting,
Wow.
yeah, but it's still like regarded as like one of his masterpieces because it's a fairy tale. It's just an interesting. Guillermo del Toro's got like an interesting take on like monsters.
You want to try that again?
What? A fairy tale? It's not a horror movie.
No. The year.
Is it not 11 years old? Is it older than that?
16 years.
Holy crap!
Came out in 2006.
Wow.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
5 years off.
Yeah. I had to look it up because I'm like, I'm pretty sure it's older than that. But yeah, no. I mean, when we start looking at stuff like the Titanic, which is over 20 years old now, it's just.
Woohoo.
I don't have the penny whistle theme. It's already.
I've also never seen Titanic. So, anyways,
what
what have you been up to this week?
I would actually say watch Pan's Labyrinth first, but that's me.
Oh yeah, 100. Like I'm interested. It's been on my Netflix queue for years. I have no interest really in Titanic. I kind of know the story.
Yeah. It's a pretty grim ending. Also, plenty of room on a door. So, thanks, James. This is the same guy who gave us Unobtainium. So.
Yeah, but there's a sequel to that one coming out.
Let's not get into it. Anyway, so what have you been doing this week? Sunday night I'll be turning into a Lalafell, and I have to stay a Lalafell from now until January 29th.
Yeah.
So
Whoa.
it was designed by Chili.
Mm-hmm.
So I have to be on stream twice with my Lalafell. So them's the rules.
Planning it. We got it planned.
Yeah. So it's happening.
And he'll be rating savages on Lalafell.
Uh-huh.
Gonna be great.
For
That must be
one.
difficult. Because it's such a camera shift, right?
I've never had a problem.
It's gonna be a camera shift for me, and it might throw. I don't know if it'll throw off our other healer. So that's so.
I never had a problem with like healing anybody while I was a Lalafell.
I think it'll be fun. It might throw me off, and that's going to be the problem. I think that's what's really going to.
Only if you look up and pay attention to your character. Like if you zoom out, your camera angles are barely different.
Not that I gotta zoom out and look at the screen.
Well, that should be fun. I'm excited for you to be short.
I'm excited just to watch him suffer through it.
Yeah, that's not my favorite.
I'm a bunny now, so.
And it's only because I don't really like short races, so it's nothing to do with like Lalafells itself. I'm not a fan of short races in games, unless they're dwarves. Dwarves are okay. Accidentally hit that, but okay.
So either
that's what short races. That's what short races sound like to me.
They sound like party horns.
Oh yeah, yeah.
They just sound like noisemakers.
That was Peter stepping on one. It is deflated.
No.
Well,
there it goes. Dead.
Yeah. That's every Lala sound clip. There we go. Well, did we do anything else this week? I feel like we didn't.
All right, here I can give a little bit more of a summary. On Sunday and Tuesday, we did our regular Savage rating.
Yep.
We got really close to clearing P1S, but we're a little bit short on DPS. We don't have our full static group. We've always had people out, which will continue the theme through next week. But hopefully once we get our whole group back together, we should be able to clear it. We've hit Enrage fairly consistently. We just need to nail down a little bit more damage to clear that. On Thursday, Peter and I went back into Terraria, which we haven't played in a couple months, to see if we can go to the moon, because apparently that's the end game in literally everything now. So we tried to do that. We got our asses handed to us a number of times. And then we realized we need to farm a little bit more. So we're going to probably do that at some point. But we have other streams coming out for Thursday. So Terraria is going to be on hold for a little bit longer again. And then other than that, I don't know what else you've been up to. You did stuff on Monday. What did you do with Monday?
We developed. That's when we designed.
Oh yeah, that
Walphinaud.
was the Walisaie stream, right?
We designed Walphinaud, so it's pretty much it.
Yeah, I haven't really done anything else. Our D&D starts back next week, so we might have some tales from that.
Excited about that, yeah. I got confused and I thought the announcement for Elder Scrolls MMO was this week. I was like, yeah, hype. And I was like, oh, I hyped myself a week early.
Now I'm sad.
And I'm like, oh. So people
Kamijace, what? Oh.
I was gonna say people still can't figure out what it is, even though they said like we put a lot of hints out there. So
I said you're going to the moon.
We're not. Jace, are you going to the moon? Did you go to the moon this week?
No, I've been to the moon 4 times already on Final Fantasy 14.
That's a lot.
4 separate occasions?
Oh yeah. Yes. 4 times with 4 different boys, and there's 4 more to go. Because I guess hate myself a little bit in some way, and B, am a role player, and so that means that I have to get all of my characters to level 90 and complete the story so that when role playing time happens, right, I'm not like worried about I'm underleveled and don't have cool gear and look terrible right now. So I'm working on my 5th character. His name is Jackson. He's one of my first tanks, and he's a paladin, and he's great.
So this is the expansion for him.
Yes.
You got all the cool gear, all the cool stuff.
It is his expansion. It's his time to shine.
Literally, it's very bright gear.
I did not have a Dark Knight for Shadowbringers, so like that didn't apply to me at all. But now it kind of does because Jackson has both. So Jackson is the paladin though. He's the good guy. One of my several good guys.
Nice.
So that is happening. I've also played a lot of Destiny 2 this week because I felt like lots of Destiny 2.
Didn't some new content just come out recently? I was reading something where the light level is up to like 1550 or something now.
Yeah, the Witch Queen is dropping next month.
Oh, next month. Okay.
Witch Queen expansion. And I'm not necessarily trying to catch up to the expansion. I just started like playing again. So it's one of those things where I'm like, I'll catch up when everyone else is there, but also I'm having fun doing my own thing.
I think I'm like 3 expansions behind right now.
Didn't they do something funky with like the raids or the dungeons or something like that for the next with the Witch Queen? Like you had to buy like a certain edition of the game, or did they revert that?
So they have I think what's called the Legendary Edition, which includes all of the past expansions up till now and not the Witch Queen, or you can get like the big Bungie expansion with the Witch Queen included, which I decided against because I was like, I don't know if I'm going to get it right away anyway, so I'm just going to do my thing with these 3 and then I'll deal with it. They also did something really wacky that I hate, and I think I'm spoiled because I'm coming from Final Fantasy 14. They basically disallowed new players or old players for that matter to go back and do like the first season's content. So you can't go back and do that story. There's like 3 or 4 other stories involved, but you start from the new light, which is like their way of saying like, here you go, brand new story.
Okay, I see what they're like. Don't worry about that ball.
Basically. They and it's weird the way they've done it because they pretend as though like especially if you're starting new, they pretend as though your guardian has already been slain in some big battle and you're just waking up on Earth and you're kind of restarting. Which is annoying to me because
are you in the back of a wagon?
Yeah, because then they treat everything you've done as though you know it already, and I'm like, hello.
It's like, did we do this in Destiny 1? Are you Destiny 1ing me right now?
Yeah.
To be fair, Bungie has never been good about putting Destiny lore in Destiny.
Yeah.
You've always had to go outside of Destiny to figure out anything that's going on, which is kind of terrible.
I got to give them some credit because I did go back and play a little bit of the newer like expansions storylines. And when my character had a voice again, I was like, oh, like, all right, we're back at that. So I like that. That's nice. So like, So
they've made a lot of like it feels like a new game, which is cool because they haven't really done much to make it. Like they didn't pull a Realm Reborn tactic and destroy the
Yeah.
world and then rebuild it.
I mean, they
but
had the perfect
did-
opportunity to do so.
Oh, they can do so at any time. We're all in space. Who cares?
Exactly.
But I mean, it's like the way that they've decided to do it is like you're dead, but then you're alive again. So now get back to work, you son of a bitch.
Isn't the whole thing with Destiny like you can die as much as you want? It doesn't really matter. You got your ghost.
yeah,
Yes,
because
the
you got the
ghost.
light. Yeah, the weird light ball like just makes you impervious. They're like, all right, champ, get back out there. You're like,
Yeah,
okay.
It's really wackaloo, but it's also a lot of fun. I've been having
It
fun with it.
is. I am not typically like an FPS gamer. I am terrible at shooters, but Destiny's a lot of fun.
It
Yeah.
is.
Like, it's one of the ones I can enjoy.
It just they have some fun bits to it. So
And some of their quests and just like voice lines are entertaining.
Yeah. I mean,
Somebody-
for what bits of story they do give you, you know, the voice
Yeah.
acted lines and stuff like that, they are really good.
Mhm.
And they get some really good actors and voice actors to play those parts. But like you're lost if you don't know. Like
Yeah.
you're really lost if you don't know. You
Exactly.
can't.
That's
go
how I
anywhere.
felt last time I went back in. Was like, I'm like 3 expansions behind. What happened?
I guess that's probably why they did that. So when people get in there, like, I don't know what happens. They're like, boom, you're back. Hey, this is you died and now you're back, and this is the current.
Congrats, you
Here
don't have to care.
You don't have to care, but this is what you're going to care about. There's a witch coming. So
Good luck, sucker.
good luck, sport.
No. But the question is like, are there any of those little like British treat things?
What
British
treat?
treat thing.
Turkish delight.
Oh, well, are we going through a wardrobe?
In Destiny
So,
2?
you said the witch is coming.
Oh, well, are we hanging out with
Oh, I
Mr.
get
Wait,
it.
are we the ones hanging out with Mr. Tumnus or the witch?
I'd rather hang out with the satyr.
All right. Yeah, probably, honestly.
Equal.
Yeah.
It's a Narnia reference for those who didn't get that.
It's like what?
All right. Well, let's talking about places that games and places that exist through magical portals. Kingdom Hearts is going to be available on the Nintendo Switch finally via the cloud.
Yeah, there we go.
See, it's a portal. How do you feel about this? Do you think it's going to work well?
I don't see why not.
Yeah,
Especially if they're doing the older ones as well. Like
I mean,
those frame rates should be.
well, they're going
fine.
right up to 3.
They're going all the way up. Yeah,
Okay.
they are.
Yeah, it's
going
like
up
1 through
so.
3 is going
so
so
that should be
everything. Yeah, and
It'll
like
be
they're going through the cloud. Like if this was just Nintendo doing it, I would be worried because Nintendo and internet just have never had a good historical relationship, or present relationship for that matter. But like Sony, on the other hand, has had a pretty good track record with it, and I think Sony is somewhat involved with Kingdom Hearts, are they not? Or Square Enix?
It's Square Enix.
Square Enix, yes.
Which I guess they had some issues with the internet too, so maybe it'll have problems. But like the idea of streaming this through the cloud, like it could work, but it is going to depend. Like I think this is one of the first cloud streaming games coming to Switch, isn't it?
Yeah,
I can't recall any others.
I'm not aware of any others right now. I know there was always that big rumor about Game Pass coming to Nintendo Switch. I mean, there's
At this point, anything can happen.
That's true.
It really.
I mean, they have to do it so they can bring Skyrim to Switch again.
I mean, we know that which is the Xbox division and Nintendo have a good working relationship because they had to work together to bring Minecraft Steve over to Smash, and they had to work to bring Banjo-Kazooie back over to Smash. So I feel like they have a good working relationship, and it'd be really, really smart of them to try to put something like Game Pass on. I don't know. Like, I guess they've been. I don't know. Are the Nintendo? Well, I'm trying to think if the Nintendo like classic console things, or if they're based in the cloud or not. Because I don't know if they download all those.
So. I think they are emulators. I think they're emulated.
Everything's
Yeah.
emulated. Okay, so even
Yeah.
the N64 ones are emulated as well.
But I think it still has to be on the cloud in some way because you need to have the online service to access them.
Access it.
So
Yeah.
those
Yeah.
emulators must exist on the cloud, which means those games also exist on the cloud.
Because all your saves and stuff are backed up through the cloud on Nintendo. As long as you have
Yes.
Nintendo Online. We should say you should have Nintendo Online for that stuff too, by the way.
And with the
Yes.
online expansion pass from the emulator content for the N64 and Sega stuff. But
Which-
Chili also is pointing out that they have had other cloud-based ones like Resident Evil 7, for instance. But a lot of them are also Japan only. So, like, assuming those have gone well, and I haven't heard anything negative about those on the Switch, I can see this going pretty well. And honestly, like Kingdom Hearts franchise and Nintendo audience is a really good match. Like,
Yeah.
PlayStation and Xbox, like, both great systems, but their audience is definitely not the Kingdom Hearts audience so much.
It was also like a matter of time, right? Because they made a point to make a really big deal about Sora being in Smash.
Yep.
And that more or less confirms that they're like, okay, now we're gonna play around with Kingdom Hearts stuff on the Nintendo Switch.
Mm-hmm.
They've done the same with like Metal Gear. Metal Gear Twin Snakes was on the GameCube.
Mm-hmm.
I think there was at one point a Doom game on a Nintendo console, which would mean that they have a good
Doom
relationship with
64. I
Bethesda.
believe.
Yes,
was
of
it?
course. Duh.
Yeah.
Doom 64. Yes. How could anyone forget the great game?
That old classic chestnut, Doom 64.
Yes. And like so many others, right? That we see that are not necessarily Nintendo IPs, but are like somewhat associated with the Nintendo identity through Smash now.
Mm-hmm.
Bring back GoldenEye.
Yep.
Bring back GoldenEye. Put James Bond. Did you know that James Bond was actually supposed to be a Smash character?
I believe it.
Rather, he was being
I did not, but
a Smash character because of GoldenEye's
I would have
success.
preferred Oddjob, honestly.
Could you imagine
Maybe.
Bond and Pikachu going at it?
Yes. Specifically, but you have to remember, I think he was being considered for the first Smash Bros. So specifically the like
Pikachu wasn't quite
blocky
there.
Bond.
The N64 block Bond, like
Super blocky Bond with
yeah,
the, like
well,
copy pasta face.
Pierce Brosnan.
Pierce Blockson.
Yep.
I have to go back and look at this now.
Of what?
Yeah, I remember what that looked like.
Oh, okay.
No, I'm trying to remember what the original character set was in Smash 64.
Link, Pikachu, Ness.
So it was late enough that we had Pikachu then.
Yeah.
So it still could have happened.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Very much Captain Falcon. That game is fire. Like that game is still fire. Like the original is so good.
Yep.
Such a good game.
Wait.
Only to be trumped by Ultimate Super Smash Bros.
True.
12 characters, yeah.
12, yeah. None of them Waluigi.
Waluigi got screwed in every game.
Wow.
Including the one he'd never been in the first place.
Yeah. You want to talk about Microsoft again?
Yeah.
And their relationships.
Man, it just keeps like the thing that is so interesting about Microsoft at this moment in time is that their announcement has rocked the world so much that like we've literally been talking about it for like half a week, and we will continue to be talking about it until July 2023 when the deal supposedly closes. Like there will be these new ripples and wrinkles for a year.
It's interesting though because like
should we tell people what it is just in case they don't know?
Well, okay, Rock Dwellers, what is it?
Microsoft bought or is buying Activision Blizzard for $70 billion, not million, $1 billion.
Like 69.4 or something.
Close enough.
68. I think.
68.7. So you could have rounded up to 69 billion just for fun.
Oh, nice.
Just for fun.
Yeah, there you go. But it is really weird because this, like as you said, like this announcement isn't even a week old yet, right? Like
No, it's not.
we just found out this information, and it's been the talk of a lot of like everything for a week.
And it's been spanning everything from antitrust to people saying goodbye to Bobby Kotick, 2023, good riddance, to World of Warcraft is saved, and like all this crazy, like everything under the sun has been said. And
Master Chief is now in Warcraft.
The metaverse. Oh, that too. The metaverse. The metaverse gaming.
The soon-to-be Smash Bros of Microsoft characters.
I wouldn't say no, honestly, just to see
Master Chief versus some Warcraft person versus, I don't know, Spyro versus
Bit Crash and
Sauron.
Tony Hawk throws a skateboard.
Wait, not Sauron. Sorry.
Not Sauron.
I was trying to think of something from ESO, but I got it mixed up with LTR.
I mean, Khajiit, just the Khajiit.
Any Khajiit.
Any Khajiit. Tommy Khajiit.
It can happen. See, that's another weird thing, right? It's like that's part of this reality now.
That Microsoft now.
We have to worry about the potential Microsoft smash. Like not that we're excited about it, right? I'm not. I'm worried that they're gonna do it. I'm worried that they're gonna put StarCraft and Minecraft and Warcraft together in one big
with
fight.
Halo.
One big fight, mumbo jumbo.
And Susan's correct. Our producer in the chat, it says versus a peppermint circle from Candy Crush. Are they in the DLT? Yes. They now own King. King is there, so Candy Crush is there. I can't wait for my grandmother to sign into her Xbox account to play Candy Crush.
It's so fun. It's like earth shattering in such a way that
bringing the generations together.
Yeah, it is. It propels us forward in a way, and also is like deeply concerning, and I find it very fun.
So I guess let's start with the first obvious thing is like, I guess the antitrust part of it. I understand where people are coming from and saying, oh, Microsoft is now becoming an antitrust because they have a monopoly of gaming. I don't want to be that person, but if you took the time to look at how many publishers there are out in the gaming sphere, you'll quickly see there's a lot more than what Microsoft owns. There's a lot, and there's a lot that I think people don't realize are publishers. There's tons and tons of publishers out there. There's tons and tons of developers out there, and we have to look at companies like Tencent that are buying up anything that they can, and they're buying up everything. So
I think they're a little different though, because they're not so much buying up everything as just investing in everything. Like they have their hands everywhere, but they don't have control.
I mean, they have their hands, but some of them they also own 100% of a lot of companies. Though they just went all out for like
So it's incredibly interesting. So you are right in that Microsoft is like one piece of a pretty big pie.
Yeah.
But the issue with Microsoft is that they aren't doing what Tencent is doing for the most part, right? Tencent is like 5% there, 25% there. Riot, we're just gonna take you. It's fine.
Yeah, but you're mine.
Microsoft is just like,
do you really want them though?
Tencent does. But the thing is that Microsoft doesn't want any of that, right? They don't want shares. They want to own it.
They want,
and it's also feeds into the idea that they want to put Game Pass on everything, right? Like, sure, it sounds really nice to have the mostly affordable Game Pass on literally every console, your phone, your tablet, your fridge, but at the same time, it's like, Xbox, do you have to be on my phone and my tablet? Like, can we chill a little bit? I don't really know if I need to have my games that accessible. Like,
I kind of want to play games on my dishwasher.
I think also that the fact that they're having the cloud gaming now, I think that's almost a part of it as well. They're like, hey, we're backing not only because they've always had an issue. Like as a person is always like has had all the consoles, you know, like for most generations. Microsoft has always had an issue, not back during the 360 days. They were really hitting them out of the park, but somewhere along the way, and I will say it's the last head of Xbox division, and his name is also Phil, but not Phil Spencer. That Phil went over to work for Google's game situation, and that's not doing well. So you can tell how well he is about like smart business wise in gaming. But Phil Spencer, I believe, is very much for and. It could be corporate speak. I try to give him a good, like, you know, I don't know him personally, but every time I've seen him talk or discuss, you know, gaming, it's always for like the betterment of like moving the like not only the industry forward, but also like gaming forward. Like he's a gamer himself. He says like I play games. He's like I enjoy them. Like every time that Phil Spencer goes and helps Microsoft acquire these companies, he tends to leave them very autonomous. Like, do what you want, be creative. We know. I hope that when they step into the, you know, Blizzard situation, the Activision Blizzard situation, maybe there's a little bit of like hands-on, like maybe we got to ruffle through these feathers and get some, you know, pluck out the bad eggs and really maybe hire some good people in there, because I think Phil Spencer, you know, and and again, I'm saying the Xbox division. I can't speak for all of Microsoft, but at least I know under Xbox and Phil Spencer, they're very inclusive. They're very like driven forward for making people think. Like he's even said, what was it this last week, that he would love to help ban people across all platforms. Like, how can we get that? Like, if someone's threatening you on one platform, I would love to be able to ban them across PlayStation, Xbox, Nintendo, like Steam. Like, how do we get to work that? I think
very
he's
difficult.
Very difficult, but at least it's on his mind. Like, at least he's starting to think about it now. And that's great.
That's something I echoed. He seems intensely genuine when it comes to video games, right? He wants to make good games. He wants to make a good gaming industry. He wants gamers to be happy. But at the same time, like, he's still a businessman, right?
Yeah.
Like, he's still currently vice president of video games, soon to be CEO of video games of Microsoft, right? So at the end of the day, there's still that little undercurrent of, well, what's going to make me the money?
Yeah.
And in this case, I think there's a lot of both going on, because there were reports about, first of all, how quickly he pounced on getting Activision Blizzard. Almost maybe 2 months after the allegation started, he approached Bobby Kotick and asked, like, hey, we can take this off your hands if you want. Not in those terms, of course, but he basically was like, we got the money, let's make a deal.
We have the money, your stock's really down.
Yeah. And now 2 months after that, here we are talking about it, right?
Right.
So he's very savvy in his approach, right? He knows that what he wants out of video games, and also how it helps make the company money.
Yeah.
Which is like incredibly like tenuous in a way, but brilliant. Like, he's clearly some kind of evil mastermind.
It's kind of scary on that aspect, right? Like right now, Microsoft, like especially if this deal goes through, Microsoft owns a large portion of gaming. And a lot of people are like, that's really cool. Like, Phil Spencer's awesome. Like, this is all going to sound really good.
Yeah.
But we have to remember, Phil Spencer won't always be the head of that division, that group. If he builds this beautiful idyllic empire of everything has Game Pass, everything has that, and then his successor comes in, they basically have like complete control over this huge swath of gaming. And they could go in and be like, now we're jacking up the price 10 times. All of this is console exclusive. You have to be in our walled garden. Like, it gives them at the same time so much power to mess up. And it can be used for good, but it can also be used for really bad things. And that's terrifying.
A good example of that is the previous head of Sony, right? The previous head of Sony was like a big passionate gamer, like was
Mm-hmm.
It ushered in PS4, ushered in really great things, and was very passionate about putting PlayStation back on the map. And really, but then, as you know, he was there for the last few launches, and he said it was time for me to retire. Passed it on. The new head of Sony is all about big blockbusters and coming out. Who else is like about big block? Bobby Kotick, who and that's all he ever wanted from as soon as Activision Blizzard, there was an autonomy between Blizzard and Activision. That soon changed after Morheim left, and of course there's the allegations from Blizzard that I'm not discussing that so much, but there was a cultural shift through things. I'm not saying that, but the way the business was being handled, not so much the culture of the company, their values, but so much the gaming and development side of things, that it changed for Call of Duty. It changed for a lot of the games there. Are you not making us blockbusters every year? All I care about is Call of Duty, because that makes us multi-billions of dollars every year. So I want everything somehow, like the fact that we even got remakes for Crash Bandicoot and Spyro and Tony Hawk's Pro Skater shocked, I think, a lot of people, because we didn't think that it would ever happen. And even then, that company was absorbed into Blizzard so they could work on Diablo 2, just because they're like, well, thank you for this, bye, sayonara, you're gone. Go work on Diablo for the rest of your time there.
MO to work on what's most profitable, and only that, and then once the profits come in, on to the next one. It is Phil Spencer's MO to be like, okay, you guys do what you're gonna do, better than I, and then I will help market it. We will get it out there. We'll do E3, we'll do all the pressers. I'll talk about what's coming up next for our company and Xbox, talk about how much of a gamer I am, profit. That's how the profit comes in between the two of them, right? Bobby Kotick plays this kind of low, slow game, whereas Phil Spencer plays this kind of almost in a way fast and loose, right? He's just letting his little minions do his thing, and then they come back and they're like, here, master. Skyrim 6. Or I did the thing that I said I wasn't going to do. Elder Scrolls 6.
Skyrim 6. I mean, it might be.
It'll be Skyrim 2.
Oh, Electric Boogaloo.
Skyrim 2 Part 6.
And I think that overall, if we look at the industry from a high level overall, when companies do that, when companies are given that freedom to kind of explore, figure out what they want to do, what they believe in, where they think they should go, they're often a lot more successful than let's go and just build the same thing year over year. We'll release another Call of Duty, another Battlefield, another FIFA, another we don't need a sports game every single year, EA. But we don't need these games to be pumped out every year. It's the same content, slightly changed. But you see all these other, especially, and I think this has been a huge boon for that indie game scene. We see these games come out of nowhere from companies we haven't heard of before that just blow people away with some of the stories that they've had. Look at It Takes Two from last year. That one, I think that one got the Game of the Year for 2021. At least one of them.
For the video game awards.
I've never heard of that company before that did that. I was going to suggest Hades, but Hades has had a number of other successes. Almost all of that company's games have been extremely successful, but they've all been very different games, and they've all just kind of gone with whatever the company wanted to do at the time. So same thing with Bungie. Look at Bungie when they were under Microsoft, when they had their own autonomy. They built Destiny and it worked really, really well. And then they kind of went under Activision Blizzard, and well, they're no longer under Activision Blizzard, and that's been really good for them. So we see this again and again.
Yeah. Part of me wants to believe in Phil Spencer, and I know that he's got to make money. I'm not dumb to that. I think that every business owner they need to pull in some profit, right? Because video games, shocker, cost a lot of money to make. So, and now to me, there's two things. One, I think Phil Spencer hopefully drives innovation back into Activision Blizzard. I like that. That's I want him to like have it like once everything's settled, the dust is clear, like he goes in and says, "Hey, listen, we're gonna reevaluate some things. Of course, like we're like normally they're very hands off. They don't really change staff if they don't feel like they need to make those changes because they really want people. If things running great, no need to change things, right? I feel like Activision Blizzard might be one of those times where I think he goes in and sits down and reviews their policies, and like of course they're gonna come in with their because things can't run the way they're running now. But I think also sitting down with the teams and stating like, hey, listen, like innovate again. Do not worry about making blockbuster hits. Make what you're passionate about. I think that's as someone who's played World of Warcraft for a long time, you could tell when the passion like left the game, right? Like I feel like Pandaria was like one of the last times they were passionate about creating that game, despite like the rating and how long like the expansion. Like you could tell there was a lot of love put into the expansion. There was things in the world to go discover. There was lore. There was like the Panda race. Even though a lot of people don't like it, a lot of people look back on it fondly because it was the last time they saw, man, there was lore in the world. There was like secrets. There was hidden treasures. There was daily quests.
Pandas.
Yeah, there was the pandas, which most people didn't like, but there was still like there was a section where you got to raise a dragon from a baby and it became your mount. Like there was a lot of interesting stuff in that expansion. Fast forward to now, it's not the same anymore. It's like, oh, you got to grind until you unlock this, and like you got to grind until you unlock this, and even like they can't get out of that loop, and that's a shame. It's the same for Call of Duty, right? Like it's the same thing. It's like, how can we reskin multiplayer and give you? Oh, hey, guess what? Nuketown 4.0. Boo, boo, boo.
I think one of the biggest indicators of what you're talking about, as it pertains to Microsoft being good for these other developers, is Halo Infinite. Because we got a really good look at Halo Infinite. When it was first ready to kind of start its marketing plan, and when players saw it and didn't like it, Phil and the rest of Xbox was like, "All right, we're going back." They fixed it up. It looks much better, I assume. I've only played the multiplayer.
But if the multiplayer is an indication of what the single player is, I've only played the multiplayer, but it looks great.
Yes. And so I think if they're willing to, give some voice to the players to let them have not a hand in it, but almost like a controlling piece where they can say like, we're not so sure about this. And Phil's like, you got it, friends. I'll take it back to the kitchen. I'll not put it in the microwave. I'll redo the whole thing, and then we'll come back out with your food. In this case, food is video games, if you're not following the analogy. But it feels that way, right? It feels like Phil is really putting the gamers, the devs, and everyone in between in his best interest and in theirs, like just making sure that they're all nice and warm and cozy and ready to play some video games, right? And it feels good as a gamer to know that we could be seeing some new games, some better games coming out of Microsoft, with the acquisition of Bethesda, and now the acquisition of Activision Blizzard. Who knows? Maybe we'll get a better Overwatch 2 timeline, right? Maybe maybe Overwatch 2 is scrapped and they just make Overwatch longer and better or something. Like there's a realm of possibilities that we are looking at right now, as the gamers at least, that seems pretty good. What it means up until then, we'll see in July of 2023.
I could almost see them scrapping Overwatch 2 and making Overwatch 2.0, where they relaunch the game with all the stuff that they had planned for 2.
That's what they need.
And really like, all right, we're going to add all these story elements, and it's going to be this, and like it might cost you some money, right? Like it might say, hey, it's not going to be a full like $40-$60 game, but it might be like $20, $30-$40. Like here's the collector's edition for $40. You get a few skins.
Hands. If they're doing like a whole 2.0 like with story and everything, I think they charge a full game.
I mean, they've done it before where they like for Diablo 3 with the Necromancer, where they charged it was like $20, but
that wasn't a whole like extra story element and everything. That was just a new class. All right, like a paid add-on is very different from developing an entire new game effectively.
but the thing is, we don't know. Like, we don't know what the development is. So, and most people have left that have been working on it.
That's true.
So
Overwatch. Now it's Protoss versus Zerg versus Terran.
Oh God, oh boy! Listen. We can only hope
and the orcs come.
Oh, we could hope for like good things. We could hope for a Warcraft 4. We could hope for a new StarCraft game eventually. Like, I don't think that
StarCraft 3, the StarCraftening.
I mean, at this point, StarCraft 2 didn't do a whole lot. It didn't do well, but I could see another Warcraft maybe.
Yeah, I could see.
I haven't tried that one yet.
Not in a while. I mean, I would love to see an updated. No, I would, but I would like to see. Like, I feel like Diablo 4 is going good in a good direction. I would like to see more of it. So,
Blizzard Battle Royale.
They've done that.
Have they?
Here, it was called Heroes of the Storm. They tried that.
Oh, of course. People like that game.
Was that a battle royale or was that a MOBA?
Wasn't it? Oh no, it was a MOBA, but it was a battle.
Yeah, no, battle royale.
Like a battle royale.
Yeah, like
maybe
if you
Fortnite.
If you slap all of the. Oh, maybe we don't get Smash. Maybe we get.
Yeah. There we go. Fortnite
/ Microsoft Battle Royale with all of your favorite characters. Halo Man, Doom guy,
Halo Man,
Overwatch dude.
Yeah. All
Warcraft,
Phil Spencer,
Microsoft Sam,
Clippy.
Oh no! It's everyone else in the game. They just drop in, and Clippy's one of the NPCs that you have to take out.
Yeah.
Ooh,
that now. Good luck hitting him. That hitbox. Oh. Defend. Wait, do you have to defend Clippy or defend against Clippy?
I would love to see the tutorial for that game, and Clippy pops up. He's like, "Hey, how to use your reticle." I would love that so much.
Aim down your sights.
And also
your little Destiny light
your
blob.
Ghost.
Oh yeah, ghost. Yeah, Clippy's your ghost.
Like a half an hour ago, but yeah, you're a little ghost, but it's Clippy.
Oh boy.
or Clippy in one of the in like Call of Duty or something. It's like, I see you're trying to aim at that person.
Do you need assistance?
After you fail to shoot them like 3 times. Or like, I see you're trying to hit someone.
Do you need aim assistance?
Phil Spencer, I know you're listening. Put it in.
Clippy just shit talking you as you suck at Call of Duty would be brilliant.
Cass, I thought Microsoft killed Clippy.
Wait,
Clippy
how
long?
How long before they offer like actual DLC for Skyrim that's Clippy?
Oof. It might already be there.
But I mean official Clippy Skyrim DLC. Because it did official Portal DLC for it.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it's true. That is true.
Yeah. So they had like the little like the space ball and all the emotion balls you can bring with you.
Nearly 70 billion on something, I would do anything at this point because it doesn't matter. I've dropped so much money. I can continue to drop money on whatever I want. And guess what? You're going to love it and you're going to buy it. And that's how it is.
Yeah. I want to point out, and I think I haven't seen anybody mention this on Twitter, but I'm sure somebody has. I just don't follow them. Is that now Microsoft owns 2 of the largest MMOs out of the top, I would say that roughly the top 5 MMOs that are out there right now. So if there's Final Fantasy 14, World of Warcraft, Elder Scrolls Online, Guild Wars 2, and Black Desert Online. Those are the top 5 MMOs currently. They're with the highest player counts and the ones making the most money. Microsoft now owns 2 of them. And it's crazy to think that 2 of them
could be on Game Pass.
And both could be on Game Pass. That's absolutely a crazy thought.
That's what I mean. It's very subtle, but you are creating both accessibility and monopolizing it at the same time.
This actually brings up a really interesting question, because if they do end up putting on Game Pass, would World of Warcraft still be able to exchange in-game gold for playtime? And if that translates at all, could you now farm gold in World of Warcraft to play Call of Duty? Or to play Elder Scrolls Online?
Because so what you could do is this, and I want you to know this is a very real thing people do, is that you take your gold, you buy the Game Pass token, right? And you could sell the Game Pass token. You used to be able to sell the Game Pass token for Blizzard currency, like not actual money, but sell it for like Blizzard dollars. And then you could use that Blizzard dollars to go to the Blizzard store and buy Call of Duty or buy whatever stuff in Call of Duty. So yes, in theory, yes, you could do that now. That's the thing you can do.
But now you could do it if you could do it with Game Pass. It opens up a lot more games to having this weird.
You can pay for Game Pass theoretically,
and that's what I mean. Right? Like, does this now? Like, how does this affect the whole like actual economy of Game Pass?
There's somebody out there right now that's like, I'm gonna play Sea of Thieves. Come on, 2023.
Yeah, I think to that point though, like, do new MMOs decide now that they want to throw some money at Phil Spencer and put their games on Game Pass? Like, do new MMOs like realize the possibilities and they're like, please put old school RuneScape up on Game Pass, please?
Oh no, that makes too much money. My thought would be would Microsoft go to them and be like, hey, listen, we want World of Warcraft on the console, like whatever we need to do to make that happen.
Do they need to do that anymore though? Like as you guys are saying, like they have 2 of the top 5 MMOs. They don't really need to go to other people anymore and be like, hey, we want your stuff on our console.
But Warcraft isn't on a console right now. Like what?
No, but they have like they can go in and they can just say like, you're putting this on the console now, right? Like they have control over all of those games.
Chili's like they could put it on xCloud instead. I don't know if they'd be willing to put an MMO on an xCloud.
Yeah, that seems.
There were some that were on clouds, if I'm not mistaken. Some MMOs were playable through the cloud.
I would think something with like very low latency. Like I can't see like
Stadia.
It would be hard to like raid and do PvP, I think. So ESO's on cloud, right? I mean, I can check.
I believe because Stadia, people had this issue with Stadia, right? People wanted to play online games through Stadia with their friends, and were like, "Well, but can we?" And Stadia was like, "Yeah," and then they were like, "Well, maybe," but that's Stadia compared to, you know, Microsoft.
I'm probably gonna have to like do some research on like how PvP and like rating are in ESO on cloud on Stadia.
Yeah,
and see if it's and if it's good, then congrats, like good on them. Like if Microsoft can make that work, yeah, you could theoretically, go ahead and throw it on xCloud and just let people play via their Xbox or wherever they want. So he's like, I had to use the cloud to play Final Fantasy 14 during the Media Tour also. Yeah, but didn't they have issues with you though? Like they were saying you had some lag. So I would be interested to see, like Microsoft's xCloud, I will say is pretty solid, like very solid. Like I played a game that was only on console through xCloud on my desktop, and I had there was no issues. Like I didn't feel like I was playing anything different. I think it was like what was it? I was playing Banjo-Kazooie. So it was just like, and that game, I mean, it's a platformer. Like you don't want something to glitch out, you'll fall. And so I was like, all right, this is pretty solid. Like it moved okay. Like I didn't feel like I was like lagging. I didn't feel like there was any frame drops. So be interested. So
there's always that old discussion or that old pushback on cloud gaming that, like, you know, not everyone has access to decent internet or internet at all. So
we saw how Stadia went.
Yeah. I mean, there's that too. I mean, there's people that had decent internet and Stadia still can keep up or there. So all we can do is wait. Like we can only see, like none of it. I mean, ESO was already on consoles to begin with. I don't foresee Microsoft ever changing ESO's DLC or expansions ever stopping being on multi-platform. So I don't think that's going to change. We saw Phil Spencer saying they're still going to honor whatever contracts they have currently with multi-platform. So I don't see Call of Duty right now being affected.
It's a 3-year contract, so anything could change in 2025.
Yep. So right now it's fine. I mean, Phil, when I will say, I would love to say it's an optimistic world where like, hey, you know, your Call of Duties are still going to be on your PlayStations, but the way Phil worded it was very we're playing ball, and if something changes,
Mhm.
it's on Sony. Like that, that very well could be. I mean, and they could have worked out a deal where he says like, we're gonna have exclusivity rights first. You still get the game, but it's gonna be on Xbox day one first on Game Pass. Sorry, you're still gonna get it.
Which is how Sony does their business. Sony
Yes.
doesn't do many partnerships or buys many people out. They just kind of like, hey, I see you're making a cool game there. Why not let us have exclusivity for a year, and then you can give it to God knows whoever else.
And that, it'd be funny if the tables turned on that.
Mhm.
So, would Sony want to play ball at that point? And I could see them saying no. Like, if we don't get first dibs on it, then nobody's going to buy our consoles. Then why do we want it? So, it's gonna be real fun here in a few years. Can't wait to see where it goes.
Field's completely changed. I mean,
So,
in a way that is like at best very fun for the gamer. Like,
yeah.
very exciting for the gamer, but at worst is like, how will the devs feel?
Yeah, I saw earlier, speaking of Sony, earlier this week, where Sony was considering they're working on or considering their own version of Game Pass, where it's merging
Yeah.
PlayStation Now and PlayStation Plus. And then somebody asked Phil Spencer about it, and the first thing he said is like, "Great, that's awesome. They should do it."
Mhm.
Like he's like, "I think that's the way forward." He's like, "I'm like, dang, this guy can't do no wrong." Like I don't like he may be an evil genius, but he's smooth as hell. Like,
Oh, yeah. I don't know if it's like, I don't know if it's him being genuine or if he's just really good at press, right? It's
so hard to tell.
It's years of distrust from companies that
Yeah, I know.
makes me feel like I want to put my faith in him, but the moment I do, he's gonna like rip my soul out of my
And then
throat.
Yeah, he's like, I gotcha.
Mine now.
Yeah. Chili said, yeah, Spartacus. They're calling it Spartacus? I hope that's just a working title. Don't call it Spartacus. That's so egotistical.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think they can actually call it that. So,
Ugh, gross.
It might be Project Spartacus.
Hopefully.
yeah, they like a working title kind of thing.
Because they got PlayStation Plus and PlayStation Now. Do you think they're just gonna like merge the names and be like, PlayStation Now Plus or PlayStation Now?
They could go with the Apple route and be the PlayStation Plus Pro.
There you go. Yeah, that's true. I wonder now. The question is like, how much are they going to charge for it though? Because really, like, they have to come in at a price that's rather replacing one of them, and then also you got to see if they're going to offer a PC equivalent as well. PlayStation Plow.
Well, a whole separate service, Susan. That's not this podcast.
Yeah, it ends with the cigarette.
Very good.
I don't know. Like the other thing is like they have to see if they can add the PC aspect of it, and they're even if they add this, it's like, all right, cool, great, but I still get more.
Yeah, PlayStation Now had the functionality if you had a PlayStation Now account and subsequently a PlayStation to use it with, to then use it also on PC. What this would mean is what you're saying, right? They would have to have the PlayStation Plus Now for consoles and also the separate one that is still somehow linked for PC that you don't need to have the PS5 or the PS4 for.
Which that is the kicker. Like, because they're so big on selling their consoles.
I really don't think PlayStation is willing to give that up, right?
Like, that's gonna be the hardest part.
But I feel like, in a way, they have to, if only because they're clearly trying to phase out the PlayStation 4 in favor of the 5, and like that will be the norm at some point, right? Everyone hopefully will have a PlayStation 5, but I did say hopefully because it is hard to find.
Yeah,
exactly.
So they have to kind of bite the bullet, and like if they really want that extra $5 from the people who want to play, I don't know, Horizon Zero Dawn or something, or no, you can get that on Steam. Like, I don't know, God of War. What else is exclusive?
That's
If you,
not as exclusive anymore either.
but that's true. Yeah, that's coming up this season. Well, whatever's left, Spider-Man.
There we go.
If you want access to that and you want to get it through the PlayStation Game Pass, but you don't want to go hunting down your local Walmart for a PS5, then yeah, they're gonna have to like let it go a little bit here, like loosen the reins.
I think a smart way of doing it would be to say, hey, listen, we're gonna launch it the very first game on PlayStation Plow on PC is gonna be Demon Souls. And that's a game that's never seen a PC launch unless somebody did a weird port or they're emulating it. And then, so like say, hey, the first thing that's going to be on the PC thing is Demon. Like, can you imagine like people freaking out about that? Like, hey, let's like, sure, let's go. How do we make this happen?
Yeah.
So
it could very well happen. That's supposed to come out this spring. So unless there's some news that like we're expecting news any day about what it's called, how much it's going to cost, because if it's a spring launch, then they got to get on the ball here.
Yeah,
Like,
we're
is
getting
it
really
done yet?
close.
So Spartacus is the Chili highlight PlayStation Plow. That's my name. My name again is PlayStation Plow. So, what?
He says it might be sooner than you think, but that's all he's gonna say.
That's
How do
all
you know
I'm
Daddy
gonna say.
Sony?
Yeah, Chili secretly works for Sony.
And Square Enix. He works for everybody.
Speaking of Chili, I think is there anything else we can discuss about Microsoft and Blizzard and ABK and all that fun stuff? At the end of the day,
you mean we can get back into our actual podcast topic for the day?
Possibly.
Right.
I think if there's anything, one last thing, I just hope at the end of the day that the employees that are still affected and were affected, past, present, or future, that are still at the company or have left the company. I hope there is some resolution to all this. I do hope they still push for their union. I hope Microsoft doesn't try to block it. I hope that they still I just give them what they want. At the end of the day, I hope if someone's going to come in and give them what they want, I hope Microsoft does it. So
that is my sentiments exactly.
So that's, and pay them well so they're not sleeping in their damn like parking lots. They deserve it. Like, come on. You just paid $70 billion. I think you could raise them and give them a living wage. So,
yeah.
All right. Well, speaking of our friend Chili, Chili wrote another game review. So check it out. Check out his review for Rainbow Six Extraction on PSU. We'll put the link in our show notes so you can check it out. Chili shot somebody and talked about it. So. In the game, not IRL.
Or many somebodies
that we're aware of.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, murder theater, but anyways.
So we spent a lot of time. Essentially, we did an episode of the Weekly Cooldown here.
Yep.
I take over. It's mine now.
So
the Maelstrom Radio takeover episode,
yeah,
or the Weekly Cooldown takeover episode, I guess.
So we were gonna use this episode to like actually touch some base and see how you're doing and see how your show is doing.
Touching?
Oh, thanks.
The base, and
it's fun.
Yeah,
it's fun.
It's fun. We're here.
Great. Laugh on mic. It's better.
Yeah.
Not laughing. I am questioning.
Your
choice of words, but
so
this is exclusive Twitch and YouTube content.
People are gonna come to our Patreon where you can pay for all the
touch the base
to touch the base. So
amen.
So how is the Weekly Cooldown doing? How are you how's your show progressing? I listened to this week, like I said, we everybody's been talking about Activision Blizzard. Clearly we did for almost over an hour. So
yeah. So we're starting back up. We took a little break between Christmas and my birthday's on the 6th, so I usually like to take my birthday off.
Nice.
Well,
happy belated.
Yeah.
God bless. Thank you. But we're starting back up. We did 142. There's a car passing by. It is so loud over here all the time. I hate it. We just did episode 142 last week, and then this week is 143, where we also did a very deep dive into Blizzard acquiring Activision. The last 2 episodes have been with a new friend of mine named Walt Braley, who is super funny, and it's very easy to riff with him. So it was a good time both weeks, and we're getting back into it. So next week is whatever gaming news happens, and the week after that is February, which is when we usually do our Black History Month episodes. So that's going to be all Black creators. And then March and April, who knows what happens.
Who knows what Activision will
Chaos.
do?
Yeah, right. Who knows? Who knows what Microsoft will be up to then?
Microsoft acquires Nintendo.
No,
I will say that my small hiatus has not been all breaks and snow days. It's also been me working on another podcast.
What?
Ooh. Yes, I have 2 podcasts now because I'm a madman. I also
Yeah.
host now the greatest gaming game show ever. So you guys did not game show me,
Ooh.
which is a blessing, because I have been playing the role of game show host now for the past 6 episodes. So I'm doing an 8-episode season. I'm going to take a break, record a whole bunch more, and then come back probably in the spring, summer for season 2. It is it's like a labor of love, this show, because largely because of COVID, right? 2019, I was like, I'm gonna go do comedy, I'm gonna go do this, I'm gonna go do that, I'm gonna like really come into my own, and then COVID hit, and I was like,
Yeah.
I'm depressed.
I'm gonna come into my PJs and have depression.
Yeah, basically.
And then I'll start a podcast.
Mid 2020, I decided I should try and workshop something. I did a pilot for what is now the greatest gaming game show ever. And I released it this December. So there's been so far 6 episodes of the show. Each one slightly better than the last because again, it's like me trying to put a little comedy into my podcasting a little bit more than I do on the Weekly Cooldown. Having fun with the guests instead of really deep diving into more serious topics like the Weekly Cooldown can often do. And also donating to charity. So whenever someone loses on the greatest gaming game show ever, their earnings are then donated to charity. And it's often been the case that the winner also says, actually, I don't need the money, let's put that to a charity too. So we are doing a lot of kind of healthy kind of uplifting of one another while also making fun of them, because that's what I do on the show. So it's a lot of fun. It's great fun. And I hope people listen to it a lot and like it. It's also one of those shows that like you can pick up and listen to anytime, so I'm hoping that kind of helps the growth a little bit, because the Weekly Cooldown is so like, current events
topical, yeah. Where this is,
so it can be hard.
Yeah, so your new show is more evergreen, so anybody can go back and listen to anything. And
yeah, and you should. Episodes come out every Wednesday, so it's middle of the week when you're feeling like almost there.
Yeah, perfect. You listen to Maelstrom Radio and GG Game Show,
and then you recover and you listen to Wait, when you need something to cleanse your palate.
Listen to me be a monotone host. Yeah, you're right. No, it's a lot of fun though, and I hope I actually have I want to do 2 episodes and then a special bonus episode. So I want to see if I can nail you both down for one recording of
yes. I'm sure we'll schedule it. I'm sure Susan is over there like already typing the message out.
It depends on the scale of 1 to 10. How much chaos do you want us to bring?
Oh, bring it all. That's
sweet.
See, that's what I'm trying
to. This show is probably like a 4, just for reference.
Okay. On a scale of what? 10, 5?
We'll get up there.
Yeah,
I love it.
Oh, Susan also says some of her favorite Weekly Cooldown episodes are the solo ones and embrace the monotone.
Oh, the one that's just me on it? That's nice of you to say. I feel like unless I have someone to talk to, I don't have a whole lot to say by myself. So I always need to like bounce it off someone, and someone needs to tell me I'm stupid. And
That's how this show works.
Yeah, just keep bouncing.
Peter doesn't want to talk by himself, so he talks to me, and I'll tell him when he's being stupid sometimes.
Yeah.
There you go.
I think that was the original like pitch when you asked me too, wasn't it?
Something like that, yeah.
It's a good dynamic.
What if we talked about Final Fantasy and then you told me I was stupid like every other 30 minutes? Minfilia, you're dumb.
She doesn't deserve that. She didn't deserve it then, and she doesn't deserve it now. She deserved it then a little bit, but
a little bit. She deserved it.
She called us 1 minute, 2 times back to the everywhere.
Yo, what
Waking Sands, Rising Stones.
This is really funny because Susan didn't actually know about the greatest gaming show ever and is since subscribed in the last 2 minutes.
Yeah.
But she, some of the questions that like, we had written down were like, do you have any other podcasting projects? Like, what have you been up to?
Yeah.
Like, well then.
I just kind of yelled it all out.
Just surprise.
Yeah. He technically already answered our Final Fantasy questions.
Oh, really? What was that?
Yeah, where are you at in Final Fantasy and have you completed ENDWALKER? I mean, technically you're completed 8 times.
Almost 8 times.
So
coming up on number 5.
Yeah.
No spoilers. We got another week, or another 2 weeks.
The thing about finishing or going through an expansion, especially one like Final Fantasy ENDWALKER, Final Fantasy 14 ENDWALKER.
the field strip.
Yeah. So like the first 2 or 3 times, you're like, God damn it, it's still hitting me.
This hurts.
And then by the 4th time, you're like, all right, like I can do without the music. Can we stop? Like, but it also gives you a chance to like every one of my characters has a different job, so I go through and I pick the trust dungeon NPCs based on whatever job I'm doing at the time. So I have to do it on a healer soon, and then that'll change the dialogue that you get while you're running the dungeon, and that's always really eye-opening to me, and I really like that they added that with Shadowbringers. So it's been interesting to do it as a tank, and so now I'm going to do it as a healer after that and see, what happens when I exclude Urianger and Walphinaud from my party.
I think I always excluded Urianger, so you'll be fine.
Yeah, for the most part. He's like, I don't feel like
Alfie was always there, though, so.
Always there. Small child. Tiny boy.
Him and his sister, whenever I could. They were good helpers. Actually, wait, no. Alfie was never there.
Tweens.
He's a healer. I'm a healer. Did not work out.
Oh, yeah.
Sad.
It's all right.
He was never there.
Well, anyways, can't do spoilers. So.
Yeah, I guess we cannot. So, I mean, since we already kind of know that where you are in your final, like, where do you expect us to be going in the future?
Ooh,
but we can't do a spoiler still. That's a hard question to answer without spoilers.
Well, don't say spoilers, but where do you think we're going in the future of this game? There we go. There you go. There's no spoilers. It's now theory craft.
All I can say is I don't want to world hop anymore. I don't want to world hop. I don't want to go to other places.
I don't want to go anywhere.
I want to go. I want to farm on the source, right? I don't want to go to other worlds. I don't want to go through portals to other places. I want to like firmly plant my feet on the ground and walk somewhere else, right? Like I don't want to. I think
we've seen most of the ground we can walk on. Gotta take a boat now.
Oh, that's true. That's fair. You're right. I will give you that. Maybe I can walk on the water.
We'll get some ocean fishing going.
Oh, man, some really good ocean fishing. But one that takes me to other places, other lands.
Yes.
That's
we
my
need to go find the bunny cities.
Yeah. I want to see more of like, you know, Authard and Mercidia.
Yeah.
I want to see those places. I want to see the new world. I don't want to go to other people's homes. I don't want I want to go. I want to stay at my house.
We can go to the moon again.
It's like, what's in photocopy C of this planet? What's going on here?
Yeah. I really like it. It was a good dynamic one time. If I have to do it again, I'll be really upset.
Go into the alternate dimension where we have Walphinaud and Walisaie, but they switched colors.
Yeah. That would be and Alphinaud's like really
It's
edgy for no reason.
It's
And
okay.
Alice
Yeah,
is
yeah.
level-headed.
It's okay, Blue Walphinaud.
Oh, they're green and yellow this time.
Green and yellow, and their tank.
Purple and yellow, and they're just
Mealy.
Wa
Yeah.
Walphinaud and Wa Walisaie.
Yes. Perfect. Just how I like it.
We both have
The
mustaches.
evil.
Yeah, Walphinaud and Walisaie.
I love it.
Oh.
Evil Manphilia says, "Pray leave." I saw that on Twitter.
Yeah.
We have our show title. Oh no.
Wow.
Oh no.
I love
We
it.
spend like an hour talking about the Activision Blizzard thing, and our show title is like the 5 minutes at the end where we're talking or shit posting about what we shouldn't be doing.
That's great. That means they have to listen all the way to the end now.
Yeah, that sums
Yeah.
up our whole philosophy here.
Yeah.
There you go. I love it. I'm into it. But yeah, I just wanna see the source. The one I started Final Fantasy 14 as a 1.0 player. And I always loved the one thing that there is to love about 1.0, which is like traversing the land on foot, having the ferry come by. I know most people hate like the timed ferry that comes by to pick you up to take you to Limsa, but I loved that, right? I loved that kind of like immersive walking around. I like to explore.
I
So
completely agree with you.
the fact that we have not explored as much as I liked. I love Thavner and I love Charlian, but I want to go more places. So that is my ultimate dream. That's where I hope we're headed. That's where it seems like we're heading, right? To see more of this world, not someone else's. So I'm hopeful that things go in that direction.
Mm-hmm.
7.0, take me to Dragonland.
Heaven's word.
No. Mercia, where the dragons are and the tree people.
It's true.
I think that's the same place.
Yeah, yes, you're correct. Yeah. I
know
agree.
more.
I think there's always something to be
I
said
like
about
portals.
like when MMOs add like, oh, the ferry comes now, like, right? Because it's like a time thing. You know, it makes the world feel a little more alive. And I always say
Mhm.
that like Final Fantasy struggles a little bit in that aspect. Like the story is great. There's nothing against the story. It's more of how do they make the world? How can you make the world feel alive? Oh, there's a timed boat that comes here. I like it's those little things. I know it seems
Mhm.
weird, but it's those little things that do.
They're very annoying though in practice.
They
They're
are
cool. And, they are very annoying.
but you know, if you do it right, you can make it like, oh, this loops through every minute. So, I mean, you still have the
I feel like it
teleports.
might be
You
a-
still,
yeah.
I mean, you still have, you know, crystal power transfer. So it just,
The crystals.
you know, you
do that so you can take boats between places, but while you're on the boat between places, you can fish.
now.
Yeah.
Like
That
old
would be
E-
great.
That was EQ1, right? Like when they used to travel. Like
Could you fish on those boats?
I thought so.
I have no idea. I'd never really dealt with boats.
Because
in EQ1.
like boat travel would take hours.
That's true.
Maple Story turned it up to 100. They said, you want to get on this boat? Okay, we're going to make you wait 10 minutes. Then when the 10 minutes are up and you get on the boat, there is a 50-50 chance that you may have to fight some Balrogs. What? You're only level 30? Good luck, loser.
Pretty good.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Fight some Balrogs.
Oh, you went on the
way to
wrong
Mercia.
boat.
Like another boat passes by, I see the Balrog boat.
Look at those guys, haha, losers. They have to fight.
You're on fire.
Like max level characters wearing like top end gear, like dorks.
Have the
Yeah.
shoulder pads.
Yeah, the giant shoulder pads that are on fire.
I still never got to actually fight those Balrogs and win in Maple Story.
So
I never
you're-
got.
You got a
You're
pretty
very lucky.
Yeah, you're saying you're very lucky.
No, what I mean is like I've been attacked by them.
Oh,
And I died on the boat.
What you're saying is you've been murdered by the Balrogs
I've been
multiple
one of the
times.
losers.
Okay.
You can't get. You haven't gotten revenge yet.
No, never gotten revenge. I don't even know if they still do that, but I hope they do. One day I'm coming for those Balrogs' ass.
We could only hope.
Well, thank you very much for coming on again. We've gone a very long show today. It's been awesome. Thank you again so much for coming back. You actually came back.
Yes, I love being here. Bring me back more often or else.
We already have some plans that I was sharing with Susan in our private channels. So
Yeah. Excitement. I know I don't sound like it, but I'm very excited.
yes, I understand. But yeah, did you want to tell everyone where they can find you? With all your new expanded places they can find you?
Yes, I come with my own expansion pack.
Perfect. Is it free?
Gaming.
No,
Well, yes, it is.
no,
It's all
no.
free.
Microsoft will buy them. Only for
70 billion.
You'll be on the Game Pass.
I'll share the
You're
wealth.
gonna retire like the Minecraft creators. It's like, I just tweet, just tweet nonsense.
Yeah, I just tweet now. Yes, you can find me on Twitter at Kamijace Gaming. I won't spell it for you. Sound it out phonetically.
Susan's got it in the chat, and we'll have it on the show notes when this goes
Excellent.
live.
I hope you can read. You can also find the show Weekly Cooldown on Twitter at WK Cooldown, and you can also now find the Greatest Gaming Game Show wherever you get podcasts, and of course on Twitter at GG Game Show on Twitter.
Right on.
Perfect.
Awesome.
Peter, did you have anything else?
Monday, I will be a Lollapel, so join us at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern, 2 a.m. GMT. I will be playing Final Fantasy 14 as a Lollapel. So if you this is a 1 week thing, like you will only get to see it that week. I don't
1
know.
week only.
It's a
be
1
there.
week. It's a kind of be there or never see it ever. So I look like little JC's dad. So if you know who Jesse Cox is and his character, I kind of look like his Lalapel's equivalent of his
Jesus
father.
Christ.
Yep.
I had no idea who you were talking about when you said
Little
JC's
Jesus
dad.
Christ. Little, yeah, I look like I look like God. And if anything in Final Fantasy, that means my days are up. So,
True. We will slay you.
so
We also have a game stream coming up next Thursday, same time, 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern, 2 a.m. GMT. I don't believe we've settled on a game yet for that week, but
I think it's
Have
gonna be Final Fantasy, so we can get two of unless we're doing specials games. But I think it's gonna be Final Fantasy.
I think we might be doing Final Fantasy, but keep in touch and we'll confirm that. However, next week's also a special week because it is the last week in January, and we are starting Saturday streams for the podcast. So our next podcast episode will be Saturday, January 29th at 12 p.m. Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern, or 8 p.m. GMT to help sort out some of our European members. We're actually going to be having our first Saturday episode with Arjuna Griever from Team Whiskers.
Mm-hmm.
With that being said, on Friday, January 28th, at our regular podcasting time, because we now no longer have a podcast, we are going to be hosting our first community game night of the year. So at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern, 2 a.m. GMT, you can come and join us. We're going to be playing Pummel Party, which you can pick up on Steam. It's like a multiplayer Super Smash game. We can have up to not Super Smash game, Mario Party game, which basically is a very violent, bloody way that you can go and kill your friends, and you can literally take a wrecking ball and smash the hell out of them. Great. I've done it to Peter.
Yeah.
With that also being said,
Well worth the $15.
Well worth the $15, and you can possibly get it on sale too. Although I don't think it's on sale right now. with that, we are also still currently with we have 2 goals currently running on our stream. One is our channel point goal, and we are currently 58% towards our streaming goal. So if we raise another 41,000 channel points within the next, I don't know how many days are left on this. 26 days. We did increase it. So in the next 26 days, if we can raise all those channel points, I will be starting to do a solo stream. And when we reach 777 followers on Twitch, we are going to do a Kigurumi stream. We are currently sitting just over 700 last I looked. So we are getting very close to this number. Just over 600. We are at 622. So 150 away or so. So go ahead, follow, tell everyone about us. And then we'll get around with that Kigurumi stream. Finally, as Susan likes to remind us every single stream, please go ahead and email show@maelstromradio.com. We are looking to do a mailbag episode. Feel free to mail us anything. You can do art, poetry, your views on something. If you want to just say hi, if you want to ask a question, Peter will be answering live questions all that whole episode. So send them all into us. Remember, if you are doing anything artistic, keep it, what was it that we used to say? Sensual, not sexual?
Yep.
I can remember our old 5-year-old terms and whatnot. Mm-hmm. Anyways, thank you all for listening. And Peter, if you want to take us out.
All right. For Quinton and Kamijace, my name is Peter. Till sea swallows all. Keep listening.
Maelstrom Radio is brought to you by maelstromradio.com and Blackfire Media. Produced by Flatus, Shintier, and Susan Sprinkle. Join us live Fridays, 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern at twitch.tv/maelstromradio. Send email to show@maelstromradio.com, tweet us at maelstrom_radio, or join our Discord at maelstromradio.com/discord. Views and opinions expressed by our hosts and guests do not reflect the views and opinions of any companies discussed on today's show.